If you're in agreement with me, say amen. You see, you can't hurry God.
Right.
No matter how long it takes, you've got to trust Him and give Him time, no
Yes, sir.
matter
Yes, sir.
how long it takes. Turn to your neighbor and say, patience. He's a God that you can't hurry.
Yes, sir.
But He'll be there. No need to worry.
Yes, he will.
Why don't you smile at your neighbor and say, what?
What?
You worry?
What? Me worry?
Because you know He may not come when you want Him. Well, I feel like preaching, but He's always on time.
Yes, sir.
Give your neighbor a 5 and say like the old saints used to say, He's an on-time
He's an
God.
on-time God. Yes, sir.
Well, listen here. Job was sick so long that the skin fell from his bones. Touch your neighbor and say, strep A.
Strap A.
Y'all didn't say it
sir.
like I want you to say it. Touch your neighbor and say, strep A.
Strap A. Strap A.
All right, touch your other neighbor. I need to talk to me church here. Touch your other neighbor and say, flesh-eating virus.
Flesh-eating virus.
Even
Yes, sir.
Job's wife told him to cuss God and die. And Job replied, woman, you sound foolish. Elbow your neighbor. Give him a good old elbow. And
Yes,
say,
sir.
keep your suggestions to yourself.
Keep it to yourself.
Just to yourself.
Then, ironically, Job's wife, his cattle, and children, everything Job had was gone.
Yes, sir.
I may be troubling you, but it's all right because I got
Go
the
ahead.
microphone.
Yes, sir.
Lean on your neighbor
Yes,
and
sir.
say decrease.
Decrease.
Job said, Lord, you put these afflictions upon me. Why don't you come see about me?
Yes, yes.
Why don't you shake your neighbor and say, it's about that time,
It's
Lord.
about that time. Yes, sir.
And
Believe
God did just that.
Yes, sir. Yes, he did.
Give your neighbor a high five and say, he showed up.
He showed up. Yes,
Y'all
sir.
ain't talking. Grab your neighbor
Yes,
by the
sir.
hand and squeeze it till the knuckles hurt and say, he showed up.
He showed up. Yes, sir.
Now pull your neighbor in close and say, he may not come when you want him.
Yes, may not come.
Y'all talk to me. Say it again. Push him real hard and say, but he's right on time.
Yes, he's right on time.
Not only did He show and heal him, He gave him a new family. He gave him more land, and He gave him more cattle. Didn't He turn it around? Why don't you take 3 steps as I close now? Why don't you take 3 steps and turn around? Oh, y'all ain't did it. Y'all ain't did it. I need about 35 more, y'all, to take 3 steps and turn around. Listen here. Job went from having everything to having nothing, then having everything again. Get your hand and slap your neighbor and say, neighbor, the first economic stimulus package.
Stimulus package.
Economic stimulus package. All
Yes,
right.
sir. Now slap your neighbor again and say, increase. I need to hear them hands slapping that neighbor and say, increase, increase. Ain't the Lord all right?
Yes, he is.
Why don't you ball up your fists and beat your neighbor upside the head and say, neighbor, I beat the devil running and I'm so glad. Well, why don't you push your neighbor and say, yeah. Oh, now step on their toe and say, walk into your new land. Step on the other toe and say, walk into your new destination. Ball that hand up and bop them on the top of your head and say, wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
All right.
Oh.
this present time cannot compare to the glory that shall be revealed in us. The truth is that he turned my mourning into dancing, and I will trust in the Lord, for the Lord is my light and my salvation. Who